A 2-0 win against QPR that sends us second in the table for now. But what did you think of today's performance, Ellis?
You win, so you can't complain too much, can you? But it was just fucking boring, man. It was just kind of the same thing, rinse and repeat. Like, we looked at each other in the 65th minute and was just like, oh, he's going to bring changes on in 5 minutes. It's just like the same blueprint for every single game. Like, there's no kind of adaptability from what we're doing. Like, we won, so we can't mourn too much, but it was just predictable and a little bit boring, and he should be putting a team like that to bed a little bit more comfortably than we did.
I completely agree. Bottom of the table, obviously, for a reason. They've had a horrible start to the season. QPR are a bit of a weird team. They'll go through phases. Obviously, one of the last games of last season, the game that stopped our automatic promotion push was them beating us 4-0.
Slapped us, yeah.
So at least we got some kind of retribution today. But like Leeds fans, if there's anyone watching, let me know if you feel the same way. Because for me, we're second in the table. We've had a very good start to the season in reality, but I'm just so bored. I feel like I'm not enjoying watching Leeds. The atmosphere at Ellen Road hasn't been quite as good in the last few games. The way in which we play just bores the life out of me. Even when we win, I don't feel like I've watched a good game of football, and that's exactly how I felt today.
Touching on the atmosphere, obviously, when me and Francis went to the Sheffield United game, which was on a Friday night, obviously ended up winning 2-0. But obviously, it was still a similar kind of performance where it was just a controlled performance in terms of possession and stuff like that. Not an awful lot of clear-cut chances getting created, but because you're playing against a better opposition, you're going to be a bit more excited by it. But then when you're playing against a team like QPR today, when it's the same kind of performance, just because they're not as worthy as an opposition, let's say, I guess, it's a bit fucking horrible to say, but it doesn't excite you as much, does it? But it touches back on what we spoke about anyway. It's just everything's just so like drilled. There's no like individualism at all, and obviously it does rely on individual brilliance at times to beat like low blocks and stuff like that. But we didn't really get that today either, did we? Because the first goal was just a scrappy one, and the second one, the game was just finished, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think maybe it's a bit of hangover from the Millwall game as well, because that was a really poor performance all round. And whenever we come up against a team that has a low block, it's difficult. And I suppose today QPR, realistically, as a team that's bottom of the table, will be quite happy that they kept it to 1-0 for practically the entire game.
Definitely.
And there's some players out there who I do think played well. For example, Brendan Aronson.
They were fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, most of the positive attacking play where someone actually took a risk and played in a nice ball was through Aronson. And I think his redemption arc, if you will, is kind of complete at this point.
Like you said, most of the positive, progressive football came through him or was instigated by him in little moves that he made even off the ball. It was just, it was one of them where in games like that, when you're playing against a team that you're obviously better than, you need individuals to kind of step up and take the game by the scruff of the neck. Like it's like we've already said, individualism, like everybody's too scared to lose the ball or make a mistake that they end up prolonging the inevitable. Like they'll do something that you probably shouldn't have done and be less direct and inevitably lose it anyway. Like you've just got to kind of go for it, haven't you?
Yeah, I feel like people get to the edge of the box after taking a man on and don't want to shoot.
Hit it.
Yeah.
What have you got to lose? Like at the end of the day, the crowd's not going to get on your back for skying it because at least you fucking tried it. The crowd will get on your back if you once get past a player, you shoot yourself and you turn around and just play a safe ball. That's when the crowd will get on your back.
Yeah, exactly that. Well, let's talk about today's game a little bit. The first goal came from Jayden Bogle, of all people, who, I've said it a million times, fantastic going forward, awful defender in a defensive sense. But what a mess of a goal.
Yeah, it was just one of them. Like it wasn't like a well-worked goal or anything like that. It was just kind of scrappy in the box. It was like he was going to put it in and he ended up just getting a shot off like from about 5-6 yards out from goal, and it ended up hitting the crossbar and going in. Like it just could have gone anywhere realistically, couldn't it?
But I mean, I don't have a problem with that because
a goal's a goal.
Bogle as a fullback being in the box proves how much his attacking game is concentrated on by Leeds. And you know, I'm his number one hater, but going forward, he does add a lot. And a goal today, I think he's had a couple of assists already this season as well.
Yes. I mean, in a team like we are in this league, when we are going to have the lion's share of possession and stuff like that, then he's brilliant. Obviously, when you come up against the better teams, he will get found out a little bit, but going forward, he's a progressive player. Like Firpo is another one that we missed today. It's just the fullbacks that are willing to get in behind and try create something. It is what you need. I mean, he took players on today, and it is what you want. But like you say, shaky in defence. I think he might have picked up a booking. I don't know if he did actually, but he definitely got pulled for a few fouls.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Firpo there. Sam Byram started in left back today, and there's just such a huge gulf in attacking quality between those two players, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, Byram's a fantastic utility player. Like, he'll do a job, and he's defensively sound, but he just doesn't really offer you much going forward. Like, the amount of times we've seen him just, do a little dilly-dally with his shoulders, to try
a little dilly-dally.
Like, that's the extent of his like attacking prowess, isn't it, really, to try and get past the man. But he does a job and he's solid, and like I said, he's a utility player, so when the time comes and we need him, like, he does step into the role and he does it okay.
Yeah, he's a good squad player, and I have nothing against him. And today we saw a few changes. Joseph back starting in for Pirot. Pirot's got a fantastic scoring record this season, and I've got no issue with him at all. But we said during the game, I personally think because of Pirot's lack of pace, it's actually a little bit better bringing him on for the last 20 minutes.
Well, it's worked, hasn't it? On multiple occasions this season. It's like we said before the game, if it's broken, don't fix it. Like, the only headache for a manager is if you bring an attacker on and he keeps scoring, then that's obviously got in your mind going to warrant a start. But if you're bringing him on and he's scoring, then why change that? Like, keep using him like that. I mean, he might not like it, but he's going to come on and score the goals, isn't he?
I like that from Pirot. And I like the fact that even when he does come on, you know he's a danger man in front of net. He doesn't need like 10, 15 minutes to warm up. If he gets a chance, which he did in the 95th minute, he put it away with a great finish as well. And that's what we need from him. But I just think from the start of a game, he doesn't bring enough energy and presence.
I mean, it's completely different. Like, if you realistically could merge Joseph and Pirou together, like, you'd have the best striker in the league by a country mile, wouldn't you? Just like the energy and the tenacity, and then obviously the finishing and the know-how from Pirou. Like, it's just that in an ideal world, that's what you'd want. But I think just why fix something that's not broken? He's scored most of his goals coming off the bench, so just keep it coming. Keep Joseph on to start with. He's energetic. He's not got the finish like Pirou, but he puts himself about, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He tires the opposition out, and he wins the ball and holds it up really well, like so many times throughout the game. But there was one other player who maybe finally got a start today after a good start to the season. Solomon's looked really poor when he's come on as a substitute. What did you think today when he had 70 minutes?
I thought it was okay, especially in the first half, because the second half, the first 25 minutes or so before the changes, was just horrible, the second half. But the first, he'd pick the ball up and he'd take a man on. And which is good. You want to see that against a team like this that are just going to sit behind the ball, just stop with the sideways passing, just get at them. It was quite good. Like, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't setting the world alight, but I thought it was relatively positive, more so than the substitution appearances anyway.
Yeah, I thought he was good. It's literally echoing what you said. In the first half, he was fantastic, but I can kind of feel the atmosphere is a little bit against him in some ways. Like, I think people are already a bit upset with him for some reason, but I think throughout a season, he's going to help us a lot, and he's got that quality. I just think compared to our literally any winger we've had in the last couple of years, he doesn't really have that pace, if that makes sense.
He doesn't, does he? No.
He's not like bursting through. But then there was an opportunity today in the second half where he was bursting through. Willie Gnonto just had to play a half-decent pass to him, and he massively overhit it. And you could see the frustration from Solomon, because if he'd have managed to get a goal there, if the pass was okay enough for him to even make it to the ball, that would have meant so much, because he'd have come in, started after not starting for months,
and got a goal.
Yeah,
it's a different conversation than it.
And I think Gnonto is fantastic. I wouldn't drop him. I have no problems with him, really. But I do think in those opportunities where you just need to have that final pass, he's not particularly good at that. Like, he gets goals and he's got a good shot on him, and getting past people with his low centre of gravity is his strong point. But I think the passing game from him is quite weak sometimes.
Yeah, it's like you said, that it's the final piece, and it's the final part, and that ultimately is the main part. Like, you can look at every other aspect and think, yeah, he's good in this area, but that is the main part, and that is what you want to be the main part of your winger's game. Just that final pass. I mean, he's got a goal in him, he's got an assist in him, but I just think a bit of consistency in them moments and will prove him to be one of the better players in the league easily.
I think the defence today was fantastic. Yeah. QPR didn't have a shot on target. We defended a fair few free kicks and corners and stuff very well. We gave away a lot of stupid set pieces with fouls that didn't need to be made.
Yeah, definitely.
But the ref was also not the best in that sense. I think for both teams, he gave a lot of weak fouls away.
Each way, just weak fouls. Like, it was like watching a Premier League game also. Do you know, like when Just players running away, like especially for example, one of their players running towards the corner flag, swarmed by white shirts, going nowhere, gets a touch on the back, just like that, feels fingertips on his back, goes down, and he gets a free kick. It's just fucking ridiculous, man.
It happened every single time.
But it works both ways, like you said.
Yeah, it happened to us a few times as well. I thought the ref wasn't the best, but our defence, 2 home games in a row without conceding a shot on target. Admittedly, it's against 2 teams that will probably be in the relegation battle come the end of the season.
Yeah, but still,
you can only play what's in front of you, and they've done a fantastic job of that. So more than happy with the defence. I think Struijk being in there just makes such a huge difference.
We'd have gone up with him last season if he'd have stayed fit. If he wouldn't have got injured for the rest of the season, like it were like end of November, start December, like close-ish to where we are now. Like him getting injured and just being out for the rest of the season, I honestly think we'd have gone up if he'd have stayed fit. Yeah, he's such a pivotal part.
He just brings presence, and also in an attacking sense, he's a lot better.
Yeah, well, he pops up with goals, though, doesn't he? Yeah. Like, look against Sheffield United, and he scored obviously a penalty against flipping Portsmouth, and I know he's missed one as well. But he pops up with goals, and he's a threat in that sense as well. So there's different elements to his game that he brings to the team.
Absolutely love it. It's just for me the main takeaway from not just this game but this season so far is, I just feel bored watching Leeds. I don't know what it is. Even when we win, like even after the Plymouth game, obviously we had an amazing start in that, but then the rest of it was pretty boring. Yeah. It's just a weird... I don't know how I feel. I feel like I shouldn't complain. We just won 2-0. But I'm not... I don't feel satisfied with how we're playing football.
There's modern football in it, like especially... Like an example would be Man City in the Premier League. I know they're having a bit of a rough spell at the moment, but like they're one of the superior teams in that league. And you think, well, every time I watch them, I'm just like, it's not exciting. Like they might win 2-3-0, it's not exciting, but it's because the amount of it's just sideways football, possession-based football. Like it's so drilled in and so like just managed and micromanaged. Any kind of individualism has been kind of like etched out of the team, and that's the stuff that excites you. There's just somebody taking a chance or just...
taking a man on, running through. It's annoying. But
that's just modern football, man. It's shit. The game's gone.
the game is gone. Woke nonsense everywhere. But if you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit like and subscribe. We talk about a lot of football, a lot of Leeds United, Championship, Premier League, football in general. So
as a whole.
Thanks for watching. Peace.